Hi everyone. Today I want to see how your past lives are affecting you. So I have two beautiful decks here. So choose the one that you want your reading from, and I'm gonna be starting with this. So let's see how past lives are affecting you in this lifetime. Okay, so I see past lives. In your past lives, a lot of incarnations you had. You've been a king or a queen or a ruler. So you've been some kind of famous creature with a lot of, not creature, like some kind of famous person with a lot of power, dominating and ruling the whole civilization. So in this lifetime, you have this issues of not understanding how people are not listening to you, why you're not important, and why you have to like bow to someone or work for someone or listen to someone because you know better. Because deep inside you do know better because you're an ancient soul, but also like you are not a team player. You are not able to work for like any kind of job because you always know better, and you know that sometimes the orders that you receive or tasks don't have any like they don't make any sense to you, and you just don't want to do them. So you kind of this rebellious nature, and maybe others look at you that like why is this so much drama, and why you trying to prove everyone wrong. It's just because you actually do know better, because a lot of experience that you all had before, but you just can't explain. Also, you have a lot of not like issues, but you have connection to your physical presence, because in your past lives you always been taken care of, so you had the best clothing, the best jewelry, the best everything. So in this life you actually strongly attached, I would say, but not in a negative connotation, but you always care about how you look like, what you're gonna wear. Maybe you're into fashion or trends or excessive jewelry, and some people might find it like negative, but I feel this is amazing. You always stand out in the crowd, and you're always trying to be like provocative in a sense. And this is from your past lives, but it's also, I think it's amazing trait. I like when people stand out, when they're not scared to be like crazy looking even. So for me it's always the more the better. So this is amazing. It comes from your past lives, that's why you can't even understand. So probably you are the only one who looks crazy or more trendy or more fashionable than any friends you have or any family member. So this is from you being a queen or a king in the past lives. I also see this card represents travel, so you can stay in one spot, like you can stay in one place. It's because in the past life you used to travel like a vagabond, like place to place. It's like you've been explorer. You've been paid to actually just travel and just draw them up. So maybe if you're attracted to maps, you like maps, or you like something like ancient books or ancient texts, or like this old books that you can even read. You might even have like few books in another language that you can read. You just like them because they're like old, for example. So this is from your past life of a traveler. Also, I see this. You like to torture yourself sometimes, and you like to self-reflect, and sometimes you have this weird fears or phobias that you don't understand why. So, for example, you don't like people who are like, when they're making fun, they're trying to startle you or come back from your back and like maybe scare you for fun. So you hate that because you've been killed a lot from the back. So your back is very sensitive area, so you always try to sit, so your back is always like protected by a wall or something like that. And you don't like to play with like knife or, for example, weapons or dangerous objects, even for fun, even to play with like large sticks. You're never into that because you always feel that it's gonna like touch you or kind of like, you know, inflict pain or like bruise you or something, because you've been killed a lot of times. And you're always scared of sharp objects, even like, for example, if you're scared of needles, also from the past lives. So any type of weird phobias, even if you're scared of, for example, spiders, because you've been killed by a spider, and not because it was an accident, but because someone did it to you. Like, for example, if you're scared of snakes, maybe like Cleopatra, you had to die from a snake. It was the only option. So everything connected with fears always comes from your past lives in this case, and if you chose this path. And then the last card I see, this card tells me, because you might not like children. If you have kids, you only love kids that belong to you, but when it comes to other kids outside, you're not really the kind of person who's just gonna go and play with them or be okay if they talk to you, or kids of like that you don't know, they just come and like they try to show you their toys or something. Like, you are not natural when it comes to talking to kids. You don't like this. You never try to talk to strangers, like people you don't know, kids or children. So you will never gonna be choosing a work when you have to work with kids. It's because maybe in the past life you actually lost your children, you saw them murdered, and now you just don't want to be attached to any children. Maybe you witnessed a massacre of children in the past, so you don't want this. It's like you're so scared that something gonna happen to them. So even though you don't like kids per se, but you're always looking, like you're always watching out for kids you don't know, like if they're running around somewhere or in the plane, you're always concerned, where are their parents, why they're running around like wild, what's going on, like what if something happens to them. But you don't like kids, but you're always trying to make sure that they are okay. So this is something that also comes from your past life. Okay, now let's see the pile number 2. Okay, this is the deck, so let's see, for whoever chose this deck, let's see how the past lives are affecting you in this lifetime. Okay, interesting. So first of all, to Mystic Reversed, you are not the kind of person who wants to work for like or create your own business. You're always going to find some kind of excuse not to go there by yourself, because you feel that in the past life, like whenever you were reaching some kind of potential, or you were reaching some kind of goal of yours, or you were becoming like famous or successful, something would happen, someone would kill you for that. And you actually been really really like prominent figure in some kind of sort of like maybe even a cult or writing, or you were influencing kings and queens, but they would always kill you. The people who were jealous of you, they would always kill you while you're still young. So that's why you have this weird fear that you feel that like you're about to achieve something, and then you pull yourself back. Even if it comes to building your own like online store, or trying something on the site, or making your hobby into becoming a profession, the moment you feel that this is going to happen, you kind of sabotaging yourself in a way. This is the fear that has nothing to do with this lifetime. This is the fear from your past lives. So if you can overcome that, you can become really successful in what you do. But in this lifetime, it feels like you'd rather follow orders and work for someone because you don't want this responsibility. You don't want anything bad happen to you or your family. But this is just the past lives. I also see the Magician card. So it means if any... for example, if you're drawn to tarot, and you probably are because you're watching this video, so all of this comes from your past lives, actually practicing the magic. And the magic, like you can see here, it was very prominent magic. It was really, you had laboratory, you've been doing spells and interest in witchcraft, but it was really modern. It's not like just something like becoming like a medicine woman. It actually was super modern, like alchemy, or magician, in a way that you actually were able to create something physical. Like, for example, you were able to learn telekinesis, or setting up fire on objects with just like your mind. So some kind of crazy, amazing powers that you had in your past lives, and they actually transformed here when you were born. They still stayed with you, with your soul. So anything to do with occult, magic, witchcraft, tarot, runes, bones reading, any type of reading, wax, candles, doing spells, anything that you have in you that you're really, really fascinated by and you want to do it yourself, or you just want to watch others do it, it's because you've done it in the past lives. And having the Magician card for the past lives, it's Major Arcana card. It means you actually were very successful. And that's why you're still so drawn and fascinated by occult and metaphysical nowadays as well in this lifetime. Page of Shekinah reversed. It's literally the card that talks about religion. And the keys on the cards, they usually represent knowledge and mysteries, and knowledge of something really hidden, like knowledge of real occult, because occult means hidden. And it's reversed. So it means if you can really belong to religion that your parents, like for example, if you're born in a Catholic family, but you kind of don't feel that this is something that you understand and you like want to follow, this is because of your past lives. You've seen something there. You've been at the time of Jesus when he was alive, and maybe you saw something and your life still remembers. And maybe normal religion dogmas are not registered in you, so you know something more and it doesn't sit right with you. But it also, this card says that even if it's reversed, it still actually makes sense. So it means it's not like you are going against religion as well. It's just you understand it, but it doesn't make any sense. So you're not gonna be a follower like a sheep, but you're still gonna come back to religion and trying to understand better and trying to see what's there is true and what is not really resonates with you. So this anything to do with confusion with the religious path, it's also from your past life. Next one, Eight of Alchemists, reversed. To me, this represents your inability in this lifetime to connect to any dogma fully. So for example, if you read the book of Eliphas Levi, and he talks about magic, and he actually talks about ritual magic and transcendental magic. And if you read the book and then you still kind of like, I don't believe this fully, there's some points I like, but I just don't get it. If you go do your research on any other figure who are famous for their works, you can pick up a few lines, few phrases, few paragraphs that actually resonates with you, but then in general, you don't feel connected. It comes from your past life when you actually were a philosopher. You did created some kind of dogma or philosophy on your own, which is probably still present in our day and age, and you can find the books of yours that you wrote, and you know that it's so much belongs to one person, it's one person's you, and your soul in this lifetime knows that you can't just follow fully just one person or one dogma, one rule, or one occult knowledge or one specific part of, like for example, witchcraft. So that's why if you're going to be experiencing or if you're going to be trying something new, it's always going to be from different perspective and different like points of view. You kind of don't take anything like 100% that this is correct answer or this is it. You always take everything with a grain of salt, but you're willing to learn and you're willing to explore and you're willing to see what's there. So you have very open minds, but also you're very difficult to kind of follow one path. You're always going to have your questions and you're always going to try different things, which is actually interesting because I always like questioning everything, because when you question, when you look for the answer, that's when you get the best results. So this comes from your past life, and it kind of makes you kind of interesting. Like, I feel like very hard person to deal with. You have so many opinions of your own, and it also comes from your past lives. But if you try, for example, if someone asks why you have such a strong opinion on this, and you cannot really answer, but you know you are correct. And this is interesting, but it's also hard for you to even like have normal conversation with someone, because if there is something that you fully invested in, you're not going to be mellow or like just like polite. You're actually going to say your mind, and a lot of people are not going to like it. And maybe that's why you are not so good in the small talk. you'd rather talk about something serious with people that you know can resonate and can relate and can understand you than just like talk to few strangers about things that are actually not important to you. So this comes from your past life. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching and have an amazing day.